Nissan GT Academy trains video gamers from all over the world in the finer points of auto racing, taking them from virtual to reality. For GT Academy champions, this means joining Nissan's elite global racing program, traveling the globe, and competing at the highest levels of motorsports. This season, 12 North American gamers made the pilgrimage to the famed Silverstone circuit, passionate, eager, and determined to take fate into their own hands.
Go, 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 go!
Our competitors arrived on this hallowed racetrack with only one goal:
Come on, baby.
to win at all costs. Despite their best efforts, some buckled under pressure,
Come on, Dial, don't you quit!
unable to transform their desire into results.
It's disappointing.
Ambition can only take you so far.
Rob to Danny. Nah.
Others showed true potential,
Come on, Nick! Good lad!
learning from their mistakes, absorbing instruction,
Job well done.
and beginning their evolution from gamer to racer. GT Academy is about finding what you're made
Come
of.
on, guys! Dig!
GT Academy reveals true speed, strength, and soul.
Come on, man, you're almost there!
5 gamers remain, and today, they are racers. Mark Pinnell,
I'm extremely proud to be the first Canadian to represent the country at Silverstone.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Alex Alexander,
My profession now is a mechanic. I think I have an advantage over the competition, knowing what needs to happen for the car to drive in its perfect form.
Alex takes the checker.
Tommy Gunkoff,
I've been interested in racing since I was born. I've always loved cars. I'm really lucky to be here today.
Great effort.
Parker Cornelius,
I will not give up. I think that I have what it takes behind the wheel.
I like Parker. He looks like a race car driver.
Nicholas Hammond,
I'm willing to push myself farther than any of the other competitors will. I can be the #1 guy if I just keep pushing.
What a performance from Nick. Good racing, man.
win or lose, this experience will change their lives forever. For those who don't win, the door to the world of professional motorsports is open, and their future is their own to mold. Tonight, as the next NISMO athlete is crowned, we will check in on past competitors who have used GT Academy as a catalyst to a new life. The race from virtual to reality ends here. And for our new champion, the future starts now.
We got the guys together to make them aware of the nature of what they were facing and also to talk to them about the race.
We need to spend just a few minutes now going over race procedure and preparation. Because this will be your first officially sanctioned wheel-to-wheel race, you have to represent us properly by acting appropriately. Please make sure you adhere to the simple instructions and make sure that you get the procedure right for the start. You'll be released from the pit lane round onto the grid where you'll be met by a pit marshal. He will show you kind of where to park, maybe give you a little spot on the wall that you can locate yourself next to. When you're released round from the dummy grid for the race start, use that opportunity to practice a race start. Pull away, do a lap, then pull back accurately where we showed you. Focus on the lights. Control the adrenaline, deep breaths, slow your heart rate. This is a super important time, a critically important time for you. There'll be a 5-second board, and after the 5 seconds, all the red lights will come on. And anywhere between 3 to 7 seconds later, they'll go out. Make a good start. Don't rush. Don't light the rear wheels up. No wheel spin. Nice, neat start. And then race well, gentlemen. Remember, ultimately, the winner of the race is not going to decide GT Academy, but it will be an influencing factor. The lucky, talented individual who goes on to win GT Academy will be moving to the UK to take part in our driver development program. You're going to be living in a house on your own, away from your family, away from your kids. It's not easy, and it's both physically and mentally draining. If you look at the guys who previously won GT Academy, they move on pretty quickly to a very high professional level within motor racing. We need to know that you're ready to embark upon that and, yeah, make this life-changing commitment. Parker, you ready?
Absolutely.
So if we asked you to drop everything, leave your job, leave your family, move to the UK, you could look the winner of the 1985 Indianapolis 500 in the eye and go, yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Alex?
100%, wouldn't even look back.
Is there anything keeping you in the US?
There's not at all.
No?
Nope.
Tommy?
You know, I came here to go 100% of the time, but in the end, there's no way that I'm gonna come over here and live over here, be away from my family. It's not gonna happen.
Tommy, you have a chance of winning it, and that's a big statement to say that.
Something I might regret for the rest of my life, but I've been married for 7 years. I have a 3-year-old boy, about to have a little baby girl, so I won't give that up for this.
So Tommy, are you bowing out?
Yep. It was really hard to sit there and tell them, I'm sorry guys, but it's not gonna happen. But for me, you know, I have a great family. I have so many people behind me, so many people that have supported me to get me to where I am. I'm not gonna give any of that up. Now I get to go home, be with my family, you know, see the birth of my baby girl, and that's gonna be pretty special.
I was completely blown away. Like, he didn't let on at all. He never even whispered a word of anything like that to any of us.
I was just shocked because it's just, you work this hard to get to this point.
You know, it's hard to move from a comfortable life in the United States to Silverstone.
He's being honest to himself that he doesn't have the commitment it takes to be a professional race car driver. And it's a very selfish sport because it requires so much time away from your friends and family.
I respect him for his decision. However, there's a part of me that feels maybe a little sorry for the guys that didn't get the opportunity.
I'd say the person who probably got hit the most would be Edgar, because with the Gymkhana Challenge, it was Tommy who put Edgar out.
Racing in general, as much as I love doing that, you know, my family comes first. Absolutely, every time.
GT alum Tyrell Meadows is chasing his dreams, while previous winners Brian Highcutter and Stephen Doherty are chasing victory.
I grew up going to all the local races, and I always wanted to be the other person working on the team, always wanted to be on the other side of the fence. GT Academy was the door for me, and just verified it that, you know, if I really put my mind to something, I can do it. You know, so I kept in contact with people, I met people, networked myself. Right now, I work for the Skullcandy Nissan GT Academy team in the Continental Series. I do multiple things: tires, fuel. I work alongside with Brian Highcutter and Steve Doherty, the first-year winner and the second-year winner of GT Academy. So it's awesome to being with them.
Brian Highcutter, I'm the 2011 GT Academy US winner. Before GT Academy, my life was not very good, I'll put it that way. I had been unemployed for a couple years. I'd always wanted to go racing, but like Steve, I didn't have the traditional opportunities to do it.
My name is Steve Doherty, and I'm the Season 2 GT Academy winner. Growing up, the only thing I ever wanted to do was race cars. Grew up with pretty much nothing and never would have had a chance to go pro. I was 28 years old and I'm like, if I'm ever gonna prove myself as a driver, this is gonna be my final opportunity to do it.
Just being there at Silverstone, having all the great instruction, racing all kinds of different cars every single day, it was a really incredible, life-changing experience.
I had to prove to myself and everyone that I really deserved to be there, and then it kind of changed my confidence level, and I knew that I could actually win. Winning was just really hard to believe. I was standing there pretty much in shock, like, is this really happening? Is this a dream?
I was at Silverstone standing on the same podium that Formula One drivers stood on. All of a sudden, all these realizations that my life was going to completely change. It's really probably the single happiest moment of my life so far.
From that point on, it's just been a whirlwind of craziness and awesomeness.
To be able to say that I'm a factory driver is pretty unbelievable still.
I tell people when they ask me what I do, and they're like, no, come on, you're joking. What do you really do? And I'm like, no, seriously, that's what I do.
It's really cool to have little kids come up, you know, looking at the car, dreaming that they might race someday.
I consider this a huge opportunity for me to get the experience I need in motorsports. I mean, before GT Academy, I've never been to any of these tracks. Now I'm actually going to all the tracks that I've played on the video games. It's surreal.
Racing requires a lot of dedication. A lot of people think it looks easy from home, and I thought it looked easy from home too, but it's really not. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. All the things the crew has to do, working together as a team. Racecraft, all of it has to come together to win a race.
Driving for Nissan, I've been all the way around the world. I was running up front in FIA GT, which I used to watch at 3 in the morning at home on TV many years ago, and with World Challenge, we won a race. I used to watch that on TV. Going to all these circuits and racing with all these other professionals, it's just been incredible.
If you work really hard and you really want to get something out of it, you can still, I lost, but I still won. Now I'm with the other 2 winners, living my dream.
Yeah, living the dream every day.
Win or lose, GT Academy helps drivers realize their potential. Season 1, Sean Johnston figured out how to follow his dreams.
Before the GT Academy, racing was always just a dream for me. And so my way to go racing was through playing video games, but there was no real way to get at the actual motorsport industry. And yeah, then the GT Academy came along and changed my life. I went into it giving absolutely everything. The potential of, if I won, I was going to become a professional racing driver. It was a wave of emotion that was indescribable. Obviously, the pressure on that race and that moment went through the roof. I had a good start from second place, passed to first, missed a shift, and dropped back a couple of places, closed a big gap down to a small gap, and crossed the finish line. Second place. That moment was so devastating. The things that I learned there, they've helped me immensely in my career to this point. After getting second in the GT Academy, I called my parents up and told them I'm taking a 2-year break from school. I need to give absolutely everything for this dream. I introduced myself to the president of Porsche Motorsport North America, and he said, you need some sponsorship. So I went out, I found the personal sponsorship. The people from Porsche said, when you really want to learn what it takes to become a professional racing driver, you need to go race in Germany. So I moved to Germany, and here I am. It was a really crazy experience to leave all my family and friends and move to a new country with a new language, new culture. But I've really come to feel at home here, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's an incredible amount of work, being a professional racing driver. It's completely different than how I dreamed as a kid it would be. GT Academy was the opportunity that changed my life. I'm absolutely living my dream.
The ride along for me is the sort of last big test before the race. From a judge's perspective, we learn a lot sitting there.
We get to see a certain amount from outside the car, but only riding inside in the passenger seat gives us a true insight to where they're at.
You can see how he's thinking, if he's flustered, if he's rushing, if he's sweating, how comfortable he is. So it really tells us everything about who the best driver is.
It was kind of a cool experience just even being able to drive Danny Sullivan, Boris Said, and Rob Barth in a car.
The legends sitting next to you, they're giving you feedback on what you need to improve on.
Okay, mate, when you're ready, away we go.
Alex, to me, seemed a little rough. He was really bad on his downshifts. When he was shifting through the gears, he was losing a lot of brake pedal pressure, and that was really going to cost him.
You're braking while you're turning left, it's straight, brake in a straight line.
Alex is showing speed, but he needed to improve on his braking.
You're concentrating more on the downshift and not getting the braking done. Okay. You should brake, then downshift.
I was a bit nervous at the beginning when the judges were sitting in the cars, but they were there to help us. And once I got over that, I really started to apply everything that they were telling us.
You're a little behind the car in terms of you wait for the car to slide, then you correct it.
Okay.
Yes, you're a little reactive. What I want to see is proactive driving. Couple of little issues with his gear changing, but he had good pace. So on the whole, positive. Cool. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go do it.
Very surreal experience to be sitting right next to people like Danny, to know that they're critiquing the way that I drive for them.
Apex, too quick. Yeah, you've got to get it slowed down there, Parker.
He tries to brake too late. That means he comes into the corners a little quick, he's away from the ideal racing line, and so he always has his work cut out, but no, not bad at all.
Your eyes are a little low, so get your eyes looking ahead more so you can hit your marks. He needs a little more work on the fundamentals, on his downshifting, on his braking, but right now I think he's still a trainable guy.
They pretty much relayed everything that I knew inside that I was doing wrong. Just I'm coming in way too hot. I need to slow down and realize that slow in, fast out is the key for most of the scenarios.
Good throttle, not bad. I mean, a few little places he can improve, but overall not bad.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes, it's a blast. It's fun. When you watch on TV, like previous episodes, this is the most exciting part of the whole camp.
There you go. Okay, brake, third, in, apex, and yeah, don't shy away from that apex, use the curb.
Nicholas, when I was in the car with him, he was a little bit too eager. He was getting onto full power slightly too soon, and that caused the front of the car to push a little wide, but it's quite easy to teach a guy patience. And he took the instruction on board and improved.
Good lad, mega. Lovely.
He was very smooth. A few things were bothering me about him, and I was kind of coaching him as we rode along, and he seemed to pick it up right away, so I was very impressed by that.
There's the speed. Good. Excellent.
He was quick, impressed with his braking and his throttle, but his shifting was a little bit slow and conservative.
Good line, smooth, a little bit of refinement. He'll be right there.
Just a little fast. Make sure you get to that apex. That's better. Good lad, well done.
Mark in the ride along showed good pace, solid technique, and has come a long way at GT Academy.
You could see he had a little bit of experience, was more comfortable in the car than some of the other guys. Not bad.
He seemed like the fastest guy out there. He was definitely on the ragged edge, but he had a lot of car control. But I was really impressed with his speed. If you drive like that, you're good, right?
That's the plan, sir.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
I was really happy to hear that there was only very few minor adjustments that I should be making to my racing.
If I had to describe Mark in one word, it'd be fast. He was really, really impressive.
Here we are, 4 final drivers coming into the last challenge. Let's start with Mark.
Overall, I thought it was quite good. He's got good pace.
He really did a good job when I was in the car with him. Best I went with.
He was quick, and he had good lines, but he needs some refinement. Next one up, Nicholas.
Nicholas was very good on the line. His biggest problem was probably he was just too slow shifting it, giving up too much time on the straightaway.
I went with Nicholas last, and his shifting had improved. Ultimately, he set the fastest lap of anybody.
Okay, Alex. He was pretty quick coming off the corner. He had a good line and picked up the throttle early as anybody.
Yep.
I thought that was good.
He was the first guy that I sat with, and he did a solid job.
Okay, lastly, Parker.
For me, he's not bad. He did a decent job. I think his eyes hurt him a lot. He was missing apexes. And under braking, he was just too soft on the brakes too early. He needed to do a better job threshold braking and get the car slowed down. I was really working with him to try to push the brake pedal harder.
I agree entirely. If he can sort his braking out, he'll do well.
It's not winner take all, but they've all really, since the beginning of the academy, have really progressed, I think, a lot.
No doubt. We're left with 4 damn fast racing drivers. I want to see who can leave it all out there on the circuit.
Let's go find out.
Looking forward to it.
Enter online for a chance to win your very own GT Academy experience in Daytona, Florida at gtacademyusa.com. Season 1, Steve Driscoll was never short on passion, but GT Academy helped him find the confidence he didn't know he had.
I'm willing to drop absolutely everything for this competition, including my wife, my apartment, job. I'll leave everything behind and she knows it. Before the GT Academy, I was a normal guy that never thought he'd ever have a chance to race a car. You know, it was the dream was past, I never had enough money. I thought I had the talent, but I had no idea how it was gonna get there. Just having the opportunity that you could go from a video game in your living room to sitting in a single seat with Danny Sullivan on your tire and to get to go race it, I mean, that was a life-changing experience. Being the top 16 out of so many thousands of competitors, you feel very accomplished and you gain a certain confidence about yourself that there's nothing you can't achieve. Even though I didn't win, I made it to Silverstone. To me, that was winning. Coming from a very lower middle class family, it was something to make it there. I used the experience at the GT Academy and the confidence to go ahead and go for a mechanical engineering degree at Purdue University. At a 3.7 GPA, I'm gonna keep on pushing, and then the GT Academy allowed me to have that confidence. I absolutely love motorsports. I'll always be there on race weekends to cheer on my favorite drivers and teams. As long as Brian and Steve are out there, I'll continue to cheer them on. The GT Academy was once in a lifetime experience. Even if you finish 16th or 1st, it doesn't matter. Who would have ever thought video gamers would get to go race cars?
Parker, Nick, Alex, Mark, you guys have made it to where most people can only dream of being. The final race of Nissan GT Academy. You have a big afternoon ahead of you. First, you'll have 10 minutes to set your fastest qualifying lap, and that will determine your pole position. And then, the 4 of you will race in a wheel-to-wheel, 8-lap race around the international circuit here at Silverstone. The judges are here. Last year's GT Academy champion, Nick McMillan, he's watching. We're all watching. This is our final challenge and your last opportunity to impress the judges. They're gonna take into account everything that you've done up until this point. And when they make their final decision, one of you will take home the coveted red helmet and be a part of the global racing program for Nissan. Who has the speed, strength, and the soul to be the next NISMO athlete? We're gonna find out. Good luck.
Thank you, course car. Well, guys, here we are. We've got qualifying first. What do you think?
Well, qualifying's really important. There's only 4 cars on the grid, but you know, to qualify on pole position, not only will it give them real estate on the track, it'll give them a psychological advantage too.
I'm rolling. Man, it's been a long and exciting competition, and I think after it's all said and done, we have the fastest 4. So right now, it's all about one thing and one thing only, speed.
First 2 guys through Stowe, great job, really quick.
We went out qualifying, I was right behind Mark, and I felt like I got pretty used to the track pretty quickly.
We went out for 10 minutes of qualifying, and it was a little hard for me to get adjusted to the track and the car, so I feel like I wasted a lot of laps just trying to do that.
Parker a little wide, and Alex a little wide as well.
Whoa.
18.85 from Nicholas.
Nicholas gets better and better and better. His learning curve is really steep. And pretty impressive to see Alex get right there, just a couple tenths off of him.
Mark's car looked to be very wide out of club.
He likes to use all the road. You can't go over the curb there? Can't go 4
wheels off.
Made a couple mistakes with the track limits, and I was just trying to squeak like every inch of track out of it that I could, and apparently I ran a little too wide.
Checkered flag for who's coming through right now.
After qualifying, they called me into the steward's office.
You're going across the rumble strip. You're going across the runoff area. Now, in your race, it will go against you. The judges will penalise you for that.
They disqualified 3 of my 8 laps.
I apologize.
Okay. Just watch it local.
Sure.
For all I know, those might have been my fastest laps. It really cost me.
Some GT Academy alumni just won't take no for an answer. Season 3's Patrick Kreider.
Before the GT Academy, I was always struggling for that one opportunity to start my racing resume. When I found out that I was going to Silverstone, it was every emotion in the book at once. That opportunity is something that 12 and 400,000 people get. It's the breakthrough that I needed.
Number 32, Patrick Kreider.
When I went into the competition, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence in my skills. I had to prove to other people that my dream was worth chasing. Dahani picked out that my confidence was wavering.
So everything is hinged upon their opinion of you, or is it hinged upon your opinion of yourself?
And that conversation with him, it convinced me that my dream is worth pursuing for me and not anyone else. You're gonna get told no 3,000 times before you get told yes once. The GT Academy showed me that there was nothing in this world worth making me give up. I got back from Silverstone and I came down to NASCAR country, North Carolina, and started working at Tony Ave Racing, and immediately started doing overtime on making the connections that I needed to get a pro racing seat for the next year. I made sure to show every single person I met that I had that drive and determination. I spent every penny I had going to racetracks, meeting people, making all the right connections. Turns out that the director of SCCA Pro Racing, he had a car for this year to drive. And that was it. My next opportunity. I've had some weekends this year that have been flawless. I've also had a couple of weekends that were really rough. That's part of racing, the highs and the lows. When you go through those lows and when you have those moments, it's just being able to turn around the next day and keep pushing forward, sitting there and going, yes, I have a good bit of money in my bank account right now and I could get out and scot-free go back to school, never think about it again. Or I could spend every penny I have going to the next race weekend and trying to get the win there and trying to win the contingency money so I can go to the next one. That's the life that I'm living and I absolutely love it.
One gamer's life is about to change. Last year, that gamer was Nick McMillan.
Before I found out about GT Academy, I was kind of just going through the motions. Graduate high school, go to college, and then get a job from there. I did not think at all that 2 years later I would be actually full-on racing professionally and traveling the world. My overall experience at Silverstone was a blast. Most memorable part for me, of course, is winning. You see that dream that's like so close but so far away, and it kept getting a little bit closer. It was a permanent smile from there on. That was definitely a big moment in my life, and I'll never forget it. After winning, the difficult part is then kind of just leave everything behind and move to England and focus on driving. I never thought I'd go to Dubai and race against Ferraris and McLarens and beat them, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for GT Academy. You get an opportunity, and if you do make the most of it, it's an absolute dream. I'd say my biggest achievement so far has been winning Silverstone in the Blancpain Endurance series. To come all the way to win in a professional series was kind of a reality check for me. That this is what I've achieved and this is what I'm doing now. And I want to keep doing that over and over again. I race cars for a living. There's not really much that gets cooler than that. Welcome to the final race. Last year I was in your shoes right now and you're nervous. My biggest advice is if you do make a mistake to forget that mistake and leave it behind. Because last year I made a mistake. I ruined the start. I went from second to third and I had to catch second place, but to come back and win it all was It's something that I dreamed of.
You see him walking around with the red Nissan jacket, that's in the dream lifestyle that you're kind of going after. So it's an extra incentive to keep pushing.
Yeah, I want you guys to put 100% into it, because this is your last chance to make a final impression.
It was really good to hear Nick give us some tips, because obviously he figured out what it takes to be a champion.
So good luck, boys, and I look forward to seeing one of you back at Silverstone soon.
Okay, guys, got the results from qualifying. Very close.
The running order: Nicholas on pole, 18.55. Mark, P2, 1 minute 18.625, so less than a tenth of a second between them. Then a little gap back to Alex, 1 minute 19.006. And Parker, 1 minute 19.9.
We're going to get you into your cars now, and we're going to grid you up, okay? And then we'll get on with the race. So good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Well done. 10th. I finished qualifying just 1/10 behind Nick. Well, that seems to happen to me a lot, especially like on the racetrack. I'll do so well and just be inches or like milliseconds behind somebody else.
For me, after the ride-alongs, it's no surprise that Nicholas and Mark are at the top of the board. But Alex, for me, made a big jump. He figured something out in his head and picked up a lot of speed in qualifying. So hopefully he can make one more little jump in the race, and it's going to be a 3-horse race.
I placed 3rd in qualifying. It's not exactly where I wanted to be, but I knew I'd be able to make it up.
Parker, timing screen suggests he's struggling a little bit, I think.
And unfortunately, the laps that I did get in were not near the fastest, and I fell down to 4th place.
All right, nice and steady round onto the grid. We'll guide you into position, okay?
Nicholas is only 20 years old. And you know, the pressure to line up on pole position, less than a tenth of a second ahead of Mark. Oh, couldn't be any closer.
As soon as that light starts to go, you're off, okay?
Mark seems to have more poise and experience, and we know that he's a good starter if he does the same thing that we saw in the banger race.
Watch for the lights. Lights go out, you go. All right?
You get first.
Good luck.
They're getting lined up right now for the first time in their racing career.
My mind's going 100 miles an hour, and I'm trying to do anything to calm myself down, and I just took a few deep breaths to calm my nerves.
Now they're totally alone. The only sound they'll have is the engine running in that car and what's rattling around inside their helmet.
I want this more than anything that I've ever wanted. There's no other dream I've ever had besides being a race car driver.
I'm just gonna do my best, and I'm gonna put my best foot forward, and I'm gonna win.
I think I have the speed with my experience in racing that will push me to the top.
I will not stop. I will hunt down the leader. I will pass him. I'll never give up. I am gonna win this.
Oh, looks like Nicholas got a good start.
Great
and
start.
Alex is right there with him. Look at that, Alex got a great start. He's going to box Mark out. Oh no, Mark goes around the outside. Great pass there.
Okay, so Nicholas still from Mark, still from Alex, still from Parker.
Great start by Nicholas.
Cool and calm.
Cool, calm.
Nicholas is going to have to defend into Stowe. He hasn't got enough of a gap.
This is a critical spot to not make a mistake there.
No. Oh, he stuck his nose in. He's in there.
He's in there, but he's in the wrong position.
As you suspected, this is just playing into Alex's hands. He's solidly there in 3rd position.
And kudos to Parker. He's closed
sure.
up the gap, and he's staying right with him as well.
Okay, Nicholas, Mark, Alex, Parker, the order at the end of the first lap. Mark now has his mirrors full of Alex. Look at that. Mark's having to defend at Village Corner.
Well, if Alex and Mark start fighting, that's only going to play into Nicholas's hand.
Mark kicking up the dirt there at the apex of Beckett's. That's going to cost him onto the hanger straight.
Was that Alex on the inside?
Yes, wow. Look, Alex has just passed Mark.
This is really helping
So Nicholas in the lead. big fight for second, but it's still anybody's race.
Guys, this is shaking out to be a great race.
Yeah, Mark and Alex are really battling hard for second. Great last lap from Nicholas, 18.7.
That's almost quicker than he qualified.
Because he's not looking in his mirrors and the two guys behind him are fighting between Alex and Mark.
Oh, Alex went wide.
That's going to play back into Mark's hands.
Mark's got him. Yeah, that big fight for seconds just letting Nicholas run away with it.
Look, Alex is gonna set him up right here.
Look at that, Alex is shaping up to make a move on Mark, going down the hanger straight. Yep, good move, he's through. So Alex is now back into second.
But look at the gap that they are just giving Nicholas.
This is a dominant drive from Nicholas, dominant. Again, Parker's still there.
Yeah, Parker's. But they're allowing Parker to stay there by slowing themselves down.
Oh, Mark's making a move here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you
Nice job, Alex.
You know, the guy that impressed me is Alex. He's done a good job. He's learned, I think, a lot, and he's just gotten better. I would say, for me, has probably the most potential.
Every single one of Nicholas's race laps are quicker than anybody else.
And he's a second quicker than anybody else.
Again, Alex running wide on that corner. That's going to bring Mark right back into play.
Good racing for second, third, and fourth.
They're three abreast almost on the hanger strip.
Parker's closed back up into it.
Mark's missed the shift. That's a big mistake.
Mark's dropped to last. Parker's gone up to P3.
Well, Mark has dropped to fourth right now, so maybe the pressure did get to him.
Parker has upped his game in this final driving challenge as well. Look at him racing door handle to door handle with Mark there. Mark's going for third on the run into Stowe. Neatly through, but he's run wide though.
But he's run wide and lucky. They're coming back side by side. Parker's back on the outside again. Look at them. They're side by side through all the tight stuff. Now, what that's done is that's helped Alex break away from them too.
He's got a ton of ground to make up, but in racing, you never know. Got to keep fighting.
Parker just went super wide at Club Corner.
Now that's going to help Mark regain third going onto their last lap. And he has it. Here we go. He's coming around to take the checkered flag. One corner from home. Checkered flag at the ready.
I was excited and nothing else happened. At least I won the race and showed I have the speed to be up front.
I placed second. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking I still have a chance.
Nick ran amazing laps the whole race, so even if I had run a perfect race, I might not have been able to beat him.
You know, I didn't do too great, and part of me was telling me this is it and it's over, be proud.
These guys, they proved that they were winners. They rose to the occasion. And one of the most impressive parts for me is these gamers come in with virtually no experience, but to develop from where they came from very raw in such a short period of time to a potential champion.
Such an intense environment at race camp. But out of these 4 great competitors remaining, I think it comes down to just two, Nick and Alex.
What really surprised me was Alex. He's always been sneaky quiet through the whole competition, but he really raised his game to finish a hard-fought second place.
It's difficult to look beyond Nicholas. An 8-lap race, and he wins it by 8 seconds.
Both of them are quiet. They just got on with it. They were both physically fit. They both showed that they were great teammates. They helped the others. We've done a lot of exercises, a lot of challenges. We've done 2 races, and in both of those races, those 2 guys both stood out.
So we've got 2 guys, but there can only be 1 champion, and I think we all know who that is.
Let's go congratulate him.
Yeah, let's go make his dream come true.
Okay, guys.
Come on, give it to me, give it to me. Great job. Come on, Mark.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, break up a little bit. We got one more bit of business. That was a great final challenge. Fantastic. I know the judges, they were watching the entire time, so I know they have something to say.
Nicholas, through this whole competition, I mean, you weren't really on our radar in the first benchmark, but after that, you excelled at everything. And then it was a dominating performance in the race. Lap after lap, you're over a second a lap faster than the field. Congratulations.
Alex, you did a great job. You came back really hard. You really rose to the occasion. I think you really developed as a talent. Fantastic job. Parker, you hung in with those guys. We thought you might be a little bit behind, but you got racy, and you and Mark got into a big battle. Mark obviously got talent. Great start. Keep at it. All you guys got potential.
Guys, you arrived here as a group of gamers, but this afternoon, you look like a group of racing drivers. Congratulations, that was a fantastic race. There can only be one winner. Dahani?
This year's Nissan GT Academy champion, Nicholas Hammond. Congratulations.
I just won GT Academy North America. Once the guys congratulated me, I kind of knew this is real.
Great job.
Welcome to the family. It's something that you're pushing all towards. Just, hey, you know what I mean? When you get to one challenge, you get to the next one, and you're finally done and you actually won, you're almost pushed into the next, 24 hours of Dubai, because you're just so set on going to the next obstacle.
Once I found out Nick won, it hurt deep inside me. I felt like I was so close achieving my dream.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud. I don't feel like I necessarily let it slip away. I just think there was a faster guy here today, and his name's Nick.
You know where we gotta go? Up to the top, up to the podium.
I had always said from the very beginning, if I could make the Final Four, I would be happy, but to get so close, it's really painful.
Dude, you could not have done anything different. Yeah, seriously, you've done yourself proud.
This was the best experience I've ever had. I felt like I came here just a wannabe and I'm leaving a race car driver.
2014 Nissan GT Academy champion!
When you're little and you have a dream of what you want to do with your life, and being able to put it all together, and with Nissan and GT Academy with this program, it's amazing. Hey, Dad. Just some exciting news. I'm standing on the top of the podium at Silverstone. I won GT Academy. And you're on a speakerphone. Yep. My dad was always stepping up, giving me the opportunity. And after I called him and stuff, I told him I won. I think he couldn't even believe it. Dad, you want to talk to Danny Sullivan? You want to? And he was tearing up, and it's just something that's just life-changing.
Let me tell you something. Be proud. Your kid did great. He just dominated the race. We're happy to have him.
Tell him he already won it. It's just a lifelong dream, and I'm just so happy.